this tournament, and sure, you got Monacy up there. Hunter has had a couple of really strong maps like the previous where he started very strong, but yeah, we need the world beater Nico to perform at the level we expect this name to, and he's not delivered this major, and this is it. Put up or shut up right now in the final game of the elimination stage, maybe the final map for G2 if they don't take their pick. Now it is Inferno, it's a comfortable one, it's a home map for G2, but at the same time VP historically have had no issues. All that being said, we've seen a pretty bad face from VP at this tournament on Inferno. Their opening game versus Imperial was ugly. They were losing some very weird, advantageous rounds, but much as how G2 got rocked yesterday and hopefully have used that to motivate themselves, I feel like VP taking some weird losses to Brazilian teams and Eternal Fire as well at the major may have made them relook at this map a little bit. What level do they bring in? Can they send G2 0-2 in the 2-2 game? That's the goal for James.
Well, James is dead very early on in this one. Hunter secures the opener in the pistol. He at least looked good in that last game of Overpass. It was a pretty jarring slowdown out of Hunter down the stretch as that game raged on into OT.
The bomb?
But a little smoke push from Flit is punished immediately. Hunter gets the ball rolling.
They knew that was coming. They really set up for that kill. Even next, they're tucked in that corner with the bomb. They know VP's reaction. They know they're gonna find empty bomb sites in this game.
And here's one thing that's been a bit problematic for VP on their Inferno is that this is one where James is, you know, we kind of know what to expect from VP. That's always the weird thing about them. It's like teams know exactly what to expect from Virtus.pro, but it's so hard to counter. Their Inferno, however, across the majors so far, some of these usual gambles, some of these usual stacks that are the bread and butter of this Virtus.pro squad haven't been coming through successfully. There's been some misreads, there's been some missteps along the way. And so we've seen they're not infallible here. And so hopefully that kind of gives G2 a little more faith, a little more confidence. They'll be able to piece together answers in this game. They try hunting down the pistols, and they live to regret it. Hunter, the only man to survive on the round. But G2 get away with the pistol, and already I heard a good bit of getting vocal there.
Yeah, a bit of tactician work for Hooksy. He'll need to in this game, right? Try and find those gambles. You know, this is a map where G2 can hope to see a recovery from Nico, because there's going to be rounds where he can solo Banana and he can prod that B bomb site on his own and hopefully find the gaps and figure out where the stacks are. You know, he was not having fun on Overpass T side. That's to say for sure. 6 kills across his entire T half, including the overtime, and just couldn't find the gaps, couldn't even get front toilets. Was getting backstabbed when he rotated down Con in that 20-second B hit. It was not a good look. So it's going to be more options open, hopefully, for G2. Or at least a more linear line to follow on Inferno. Everyone knows what they're up to. It's just VP who like to subvert expectations and play on a whim and gamble more than most. Smokes are getting stalled in this round for James. They've got 3 up. Don't want to leave it too long. He might never get a chance, but it comes down library side, giving G2 access to the spawn, but they want the A site.
Oh, no, but from down in the pit is able to save Mir's life, but he won't take it any further than that. And so this one, a lock-in for G2 as VP call the save. And there's going to be a lot of this, you know, there's going to be a lot of rounds like this where a couple of kills in the right place just decide the outcome, and even more so because of the team that G2 are up against. This one is really a battle of brains. Do you have the opening moves?
Well, actually, it's not just the opening moves either. It's the closing of the game, and I think that's like we just learned last map. I can just never count VP out. You should never either. G2 were 11-7 up. They still lost in overtime. VP conceded 12 rounds to save 4 guns and an AWP, and G2 They learned it against Ecstatic yesterday. They learned it in that first map of Overpass. They've just got to keep them coming. They've got to lock in. They've got to be unwavering in their focus.
And I think, you know, during our kind of setup for this one, it's easy to home in on Nico because he is someone who's been middle of the pack, not where you associate him with. He's the guy with this, like, kind of tainted legacy at majors who's trying to recover. But even as you look down the line, when you look at Monacy, who has been in this team for a good while now, you see what he's able to do. You see the numbers this guy's able to put up. You see the level he's able to play at consistently. And you don't want that going to waste, right? I think as much as there's a conversation about Nico in this team, there has to be one around Monacy as well. He's given some of his best years to the G2 squad.
For sure.
And you don't want to feel like they're being squandered in a team that don't have what it takes to lift trophies. When this squad was put together, that was the goal. You know, they weren't meant to be one of these teams that just try to break into the top 5 and stay there. This was meant to be a team to bring the trophies to G2. Yeah, that's why they spent such a pretty penny on Monacy.
Yeah, he went from the Na'Vi Junior Academy squad straight into a world-beating team, straight into a grand final in Katowice with mind-bending numbers as well. So, out of the gate, hitting high heights, but there's a long fall down before you hit the ground. G2 execute into B. They've got the entry. That FAMAS has been picked back up, and James is utilizing it inside of the site. He's got to get a multi-kill here if they want to have any chance, and the flash is good. 2 kills from James. Still down a man. Mir through the smoke, and that's just a hope and a prayer as G2 managed to snuff out this round.
And contrary to popular belief, it's not Norbin time in this round. The 1v3 will not be happening. And so G2 are able to break through the ranks of Virtus.pro, even with those saved weapons, even with the pistols finding some success. Or James rather with that double. But the real test, the first proper test is in this follow-up.
The longer he leaves this, if he can get a dink at the end, he could kill a player to the bomb, but...
They're always playing the money game,
yeah.
RVP.
You know, oh, the dink, he gets a kill cleanly. Hey, you take it. Under control for G2. It's fine, that's how it's supposed to start. It's what it says in the script, but VP just need time. A Time Lord at the helm, cooking up around on the CT side with the AWP. No kits here for VP. Not much of a retake map anyway. And prioritization of Molotovs, 4 across this team. Fire traded a banana. Let's see how G2 opt to fight in this position. They're putting a lot into it right now. Mollying the top, going through the smoke. Both teams throw a banana smoke in this round. Give them the air of control. Hooksy has got the half wall now, but there's 3 at B. There's a flash setup as well. James is here with the orb. Oh, good molly. VP are about to explode back in, and they still may. But they'll let James take that first contact. Oh, here comes Flares.
Like this, they're just leaving Nico to hang around at the top of Banana. And he might get rewarded for this patience, but the flash destroys him. And Monacy's now out of the round as well. This re-aggro into the top of B for Virtus.pro, perfectly timed.
Was Nico stuck there, and he could, like, maybe couldn't move because he's crouched under that little lip? I don't know. That he didn't even turn from the flash. He didn't even try and fall off.
He did just kind of accept his fate, didn't he?
I'm feeling like maybe he was stuck. He couldn't, you know, just like slowly sneaking. I'm not sure. That just felt out of place. G2 now lost in the source, lost in the open. 20 seconds as they burst into the crossfire. There's 3 players here. There's no hope as VP choke out G2 with seconds to spare and with ease on both sides.
And VP already have kind of successfully removed one of these key pieces from the G2 toolkit, right? So often, G2 are able to find success over towards B on the back of Nico. Well, that kind of flash re-aggro play back into the top of Banana immediately sets a bit of a precedent. The VP won't give you the early fights on your terms, but they will come and take a few of their own.
It's a nice setup. We're not seeing a lot of teams actually retaking Banana control, retaking top B. VP just use it for kills. And then they get back into their bomb site. They force G2 round the map.
And so now this is VP trying to flex that a little bit, right? Not only did we retake Banana last round, this time we've full taken Banana.
Oh, it's so risky.
G2 call their bluff. They play through the smoke.
Even just showing there at car might force more util than G2 wanted to use at this position, but they see him jump back. They'll take this control. That deep molly is annoying as G2 line up their own util. They have to run right through.
Fame. Oh, awkward spot to be in, but Fame doesn't crumble. The Fame doesn't go to his head, he goes to theirs. 3 kills on the fountain, and even more to do. It's not over yet, but Fame, a pillar of resistance, finally locked out by Nexa. He's done all he had to, and then some in the round. m0NESY with a bomb plant as G2 try to claw back a 2v4. It's m0NESY or nothing for G2. Sneaks his way into the back of the site, but now on the smoke push, they've seen him. m0NESY will get the better in all, but still has some heavy lifting to do, does m0NESY. Up and over. Tap on the bomb. VP do not overreact. They call his bluff. They see that he's not planting. m0NESY's trying to hunt down these kills. Mir not peeking from Banana. This is crazy. m0NESY's being given so much room, but at this point, he fully discounts Banana, surely. If anyone was there, they would have peeked him by now. That's how m0NESY has to feel. And James has come walking into the Lion's Den. m0NESY, one man left to find, and it's Mir who played it silent and slow from Banana to rob m0NESY of that clutch.
Unbelievable. Unreal. The bait of a lifetime from Mir, but it gets the round, and that's all VP ever wanted, ever needed. James telling him to not move, surely, because he's pushing into the site on his own. m0NESY is given 2 simple kills, but a misread, a miscomm, and a misunderstanding, whatever it may be, no clue about Mir's position.
You cannot fault m0NESY for not knowing that Mir is Banana there. That is not how any other team in the world would have played that 3v1 once it starts to spiral out of control. You would have been double swinging him. You would have heard the footsteps when he's chasing the kill in towards CT. Mir would have reacted if he was on any other roster, but that's not how James envisions the game.
It works. You can't argue with the results. What an unbelievable 3K for Fame. Like, he should be dead there. He should be gone after 1. That's a thin fountain. And it's G2's blood that spurts from it. 3 unbelievable kills on the defense. And already I'm liking what I see out of VP towards the B side, because in that Imperial game, there were so many rounds where VP would play 4A, they would leave Fame in CT spawn, he would play his nade protocols, he wouldn't even fight for the site. This guy's a rock-solid anchor. He is a young talent. I want to see him giving it his all in these positions and going down with a bang, taking G2 with him, and that is more like it from Fame. 3 kills to set VP up for a close, anti-clutch. Nice try for m0NESY. He's at least hitting. But VP stick another landing. Tuck and roll.
Silent creep through the apartments. Oh, not so quiet anymore. And here's the thing, like, VP showed just because they're not this hyper-aggressive, hyperactive team, it's actually their inaction that causes that paranoia in their opponents. That flash there you have to react to. You're kind of jittery, especially after how that last round went. G2 desperately looking to pick me up here, and a missed molly from Norbert could give them a way in. Mir holds the line. James lends a helping hand, and now he's playing over the smoke and not into the hands of Nico. He plucks out from the bomb site, boxed into a little corner. A flawless round from Virtus.pro.
G2 get back sight on A. They don't get a kill or a bomb plant. VP slaughter them with 3 players. And that's after Norbert gets mollied. mollies himself. Smokes, just hides. Mir has the cross, and I love James' little moto smoke as G2 throw one to cut off the arch position. James throws one next to it, which lets him climb up on that bike and look over the top of Graveyard, still enshrouded by the smoke. This is a lethal game out of Virtus.pro right now.
I'm worried that G2 are a little flustered with how these last few rounds have gone.
Can you blame them?
The idea that they might have come so close, only to fall out of a playoff deciding match, at being that 1BO3 away from getting into the arena. And for a team like G2, you know, I don't really think they care about the journey. It's just the destination. They just want to be there. They just want to get there. That's where these guys do their best work. They are proven in those environments. VP, meanwhile, never a team to feel that pressure. The way they play CS removes any idea that this is a team that can't handle pressure. When every game is down to the wire, you're always on the edge of your seat, and so they've learned to be cool and calm, collected. Jame holding on in middle, nails that opener. Hooksy, 0-7 start here to the T side of G2.
Jame loves his angle. Oh, it's a missed shot. He sees the fingers around the corner, follows up, can't connect. He can just block it and go and help his team. There's only 15 seconds. This bomb's coming up short side, not for long. Gunned down by Mir, who's made a miraculous recovery in this matchup. Deagle dry, and VP fight their way to another 5 alive round. They are stacking right now, amassing cash, and stepping themselves closer and closer to that finish line. The tortoise keeps marching on.
I mean, dude, even the body language is concerned. I don't want to be some armchair psychologist, but they just look a little timid, like they're just going through the motions, like it's an autopilot game right now, and VP are the ones with the remote.
It didn't even feel like G2 got ahead of themselves, like they weren't neck and neck with VP in that last game, but look at this with the Molotov, fast and dead immediately. Jame is managing to get back to safety. He doesn't even fear that he's being chased, even though long smoked, he knows G2 are playing exactly into him. A hell of a throw up mid for G2, trying to catch the timings off, but we saw an overpass. Those rush rounds, the one called in overtime, VP are always ready. You can change the pace, you can't change the results. Nico might need help, he's getting mollied out of B. Smoke forced.
He's rolling his sleeves up, he's doing everything he can to like try and bring himself back into the game externally, but he needs that round internally. He needs that round where you look at it and you go, that was all Nico. And if one of those doesn't come soon, if he's never brought back into the game, G2 won't have the manpower, the resources to win this.
For BXX, we've seen Fame do some incredible work here. He will be locked out in spawn, but he's got grenades, and I imagine he'll break that CT smoke with his HE. Flit's got the same situation. Covered from quad. Molotov ready. Here come G2.
They're stalled out by that molly. They've got to wait even longer. They've got to waste even more time. It's down to the final few seconds as they move in. Nico leads the charge. Back of the site, he's cut down. Mir spamming smokes. And now Flit trying to send Nexa out of the round as he's boxed in. They're not even giving him the fight. And there just isn't time for Nexa to win this. VP are masters of the clock. And G2 are playing right into their hands. And that's the absurdity of Virtus.pro. It feels like every team that plays against them becomes some funhouse mirrored image of the VP style. You're throwing in these execs with 19 seconds left. There's still mollies on that B site to take the pace out, to slow it down. The rotates are moving in. G2 can feel that they're already losing control of this game on their map pick, and for Hooksy down 0-8, He's having to worry about his individual form while trying to outcool James, who's been a class act throughout the series. This is textbook Virtus.pro. And when they are playing like this, there are very few teams that can beat them. There are very few teams that are in that conversation. Across this series, historically, it's always been G2 winning it. When it really matters, VP might take their first win over the squad.
It's always group games, right? It's Pro League matches, it's opening rounds, it's G2, 4 BO3s in a row every time they've beat VP. But right now, with the most on the line, with the most it's ever mattered, VP are rising to that occasion. Quick, up banana. Nico is in the crossfire right now. He is in the lion's den. They're getting mauled one by one. Bites taken out of G2. Hooksy 0-9. Nico a non-factor. Nate out, that's dangerous. It's a swing through spawn smoke. There's still a third player here. You can't get rid of Fame. Another kill comes through. That molly does its damage. Fame will fall, and m0NESY has to do it again.
It is the exact same situation. m0NESY stopping Fame on a tear, and now left in what was a 1v3.
Where are they?
Once again, Norbert this time is the one taking up banana. Mir waits back in the church. m0NESY, he was betrayed to the clock last time, so this time he tries to rush that bomb plant, but he'll get chased. Mir doesn't peek him. m0NESY actually has a chance to fight here. He was betrayed by the banana push last time. He has to be aware of it this time, and he was, but Norbert lands the shot, and so m0NESY, another clutch attempt denied before the ball even gets rolling.
And again, who would think that it's just Norbert putting on an unbelievable performance, back-to-back maps, incredible impact. Fame, rock solid at this B site. Yet again, another 3 kills, and he is left completely alone there. Still manages to drag one more with him. And when m0NESY can't even pick up these incredulous clutches we know him for, it feels like it's not meant to be for G2.
I mean, that's been like one of the consistencies, as terrifying as it sounds, was that m0NESY, a couple of times a game, really, for G2 across their major run, will put up clutches to give you those must-win rounds, to give you the rounds that make all the difference when it comes down to the wire, and they're not landing right now. I don't think you can fault him for not being able to win these 1v3s. No. He shouldn't be in that position anyway, but even then, he's able to get away with it more often than not, and he's being entirely silenced here. A timeout called for VP, rather. They're not happy with how that last round went down. That's how clinical they're trying to keep this. And here's the thing, when VP are at their best, they don't just win games. They don't just beat a team. They destroy a team. They pick it apart. It's a harrowing time when you're playing versus this VP squad.
6 rounds straight. G2 have tried all manner of things. Nico solo locking banana, going for instant executes. Hunter running the mid molly. But every round, almost every round, coming down to those last 20-30 second XX, and VP are just so prepared. Stalwart on this B site. Flit spams the smoke, and Nico continues to be unable to catch a break. They go one step further. Flit walking down. James AWP beckons them in. The gap is pit. It's only Norbert on short side. VP could be locked out of the site, but I wouldn't put it past Norbert to pull out multiple kills in that position. They jump past the orb. James spotted. Can allow Flit to escape here, but you might not expect him this deep, this late. You might not ever find out. That bomb, oh dear, the bomb's crossing. The bomb is coming up through ramp right now. G2 are trying to get ready to execute A. This bomb is nowhere to be seen. Are they going to come back banana in the final seconds? Will Flit play ahead?
No.
He's found Hooksy in the spawn.
And that's Hooksy 0-10, dying with the bomb at T-ramp with 30 seconds left in the round.
How can you call against that?
G2, they're all here, they're flashing through, they're trying to recover it, they're doing all they can, but there just simply isn't time. 20 seconds as they rejoin m0NESY and top mid. Every kill's got to be flawless. There is no margin for error. You cannot get slowed here if you're G2. You've got to steamroll your way in. m0NESY is doing all he can, but it might not be enough as Norbert, down in the pit, delivers death swiftly to G2. in a soul-crushing round, in a soul-crushing defeat. There should be no way in hell that G2 are able to build back into this game when you're losing rounds like that.
Despicable play from Virtus.pro, pushing the banana smoke. He heard Hooksy running out from spawn. He made that perfect read, and he catches him with nades out with the bomb. Whatever G2 were planning, it doesn't matter. They don't get to make the decision. You've been getting up top banana for free every single round of this game. And finally, not only does Flit find the point man to open up through a smoke, he pushes into your spawn. And that's without even mentioning Norbert back in pit, putting on more multi-kills. The X factor is there for VP. Every player able to put on a strong defense, a big 3K when it's needed. Fame's had him, Norbert's had him, and now Flit's done him. We've had a game crash, and in this moment, G2 must sit in silence and let that wash over them.
And that's the thing, you know, like, nothing is showing how out of the game they are right now than when your in-game leader, the guy who's meant to be managing the big strategy, making the calls to bring you back into the game, 0-10, pushed at ramp with the bomb, completely sidelining whatever was planned in the round for G2. And that's almost the lie that VP get you to believe, is that they don't make those plays. They don't go for that aggression.
Oh, they do.
So in your mind, you're thinking you're more than safe to be hanging around the ramp there, to be further away. There's no way he walks the smoke. It's smoked on banana. That's what Hooksy's believing in his head. But Flit calls his bluff, and it's just the most brutal way you could envision losing a round, and such a pivotal moment, man. Like, that was a buy for G2, one where they're trying to come in with a bit of a fresh face. They've just had a pause come out, some missed attempts in clutches, but that was where it was meant to turn around, and it's just not meant to be. Virtus.pro with an utterly mind-blowing game right now.
They are just never where you think. Look at that Monacy round, right, where he gets the 2K and the 1v3, and he's checking everywhere but Miz position. They are never where you think. And also, G2 have burned 2 tactical timeouts, fair enough, but now we go through this extended pause after losing that horrendous round the way they did, and now, what are they supposed to do? The options are go straight back into the game and go, all right, guys, let's go, or use their third and final tactical timeout in the first half of this map.
And you know, with the style that VP play, with the brands of these games, with how they're often a long drawn-out affair, if you end up burning all your pauses in the first half, that will come back to haunt you down the line. You're dead on. It leaves them in a very rough spot here.
Neither option is good, because I think, honestly, at this point, like, it's feeling like this game is completely away from G2. They probably have to call their pause just to be able to chat it through. You don't want to be going in off of this silence back into another round after an absolute heartbreaker. This is clinical for VP. You know they are just loving this right now. Taste of blood on their tongue. Focused faces. And mere rounds from the top 8 of the Copenhagen Major. They didn't even make it to Paris. They couldn't even decide their roster. They brought Norbert back, and my God, he has delivered in spades. And there it is, folks, the third and final timeout for G2 in this regulation game. They had to do it. They now have nothing left. VP not only in control, they are squeezing the resources out of G2.
And, you know, James is a very smart guy. He knows the advantage he has. He knows that he has reduced this G2 squad to nothing. And when you're in the spots like this, you know, you hear it all the time. The comms get weaker, people get quieter, everyone's kind of in their own head. That's what playing Virtus.pro does to you.
G2's city of samurais is surrounded. All you have is what's inside of the walls right now. No support, no reinforcements, nothing but these 5 players. And Taz behind them, gone, silenced for now. As Virtus.pro just keep walking. Closer and closer, step by step.
saw in that pause, they were all looking down the line. They were having a good conversation, it looked like. Getting people talking, that's the goal. Getting people feeling normal for G2, that's the goal. It's all well and good in practice. In the theory, can they put it to work now practically in this round? Because if if you think to yourself that you've just kind of cooked up some solutions there and then VP come out with another stunner, it's done for G2.
It's looking good right now. They heard James Orb. He hasn't rotated, just trying to keep them guessing. He is late, moving back, but the sooner G2 go, the better.
Mir spots one over in the apartments. He's just given up that long control. And the molly will let G2 know that there's space available over at long.
It's a big smoke.
Space available. James is here to try and put a stop to it. Smoked off in the library. They don't have a need to break that, so it will come down to these site players. Norbert from the pit has to stand and deliver. Immediately takes one of the dome. That's more like it from Nexa and Monacy.
VP, they love a save, but this is tantalizing. 3v3. Fame on a fast flank, he's locked them in the site. There's only so many positions. This is the hardest site to retake in Counter-Strike, and VP are giving it a go.
This is VP going for the curb stomp. They want to delete G2 from the server here and now, and winning this round would do it. Monacy holding on to long, doubting every move he makes. James making a lot of noise, but Flit is found, and now it's just James. 1v2,
no
Crossfire's too strong. He doesn't want to give it a go. He writes this one off. VP, they try to break the they try to break the heads of G2 by going for that 3-on-3 retake. You know this team would always save there. But G2 are able to come through with it. And listen to that in the background. You hear a little bit of hype getting generated. You hear that maybe G2 can mentally recover from this. They still have a very long way to go.
I'm not buying what you're selling, Harry, not yet. Just the fact that VP are even going for those rounds shows that they know just how close they are. They know where they have G2, on the rocks,
I'm
on the
always
ropes.
of the belief it doesn't take much to bring you back into a game. So let's see. Let's see if G2 can manage it.
Gunning for 5 on their T side.
Fast up Banana. Very different look in this round. They're playing with a bit of pace. Nico boosted up. It was here. He had a lame duck peek. Their first rifle round where VP retook top Banana, and he hasn't looked the same since.
Right, there's a gap. Hooksy 0 and 11. He's found the timing. He's found the headshot.
He's on the board.
And he's wrapping that B site. A lot of pressure put on VP right now. Knife out. This is a very gung-ho for Hooksy. Very loud, and he should have no chance here. Runs right by Flit as they set up for this B hit.
G2 are trying to invoke the speed, the pace, the belief that they can recover this game. James dealt with back of the site as Nico, head on a swivel. First multi-kill round you've seen from him, and now he's posted with the AWP. Mir making a play. Mir's making a play, and Nico misses the timing. No trade. No chance! Nexa with a big backstab. At least G2 have got time. They have to find some comfort in that. Norbert was ready, but Nexa replies. And so now it's Mir trying to drive the knife into G2, kicking them while they're down in a 1v2 attempt. He denied that plant with the double, with the smoke push. But now they have this crossfire. He's going to wait till that bomb gets planted. Wait till the 1v1 is available, surely. He walks it early. He walks it early. Coming through. Nico will get the better of him. And that's how G2 find 5. Nico finally delivers a bit of hope the way of G2.
Felt like his most impactful round in the entire series. It's not just what he did, it's when he did it. Finding that last round of the half, building off of the previous. A big flank as well, man. I can't believe Norbert even considers that. It doesn't matter. Taz is trying to get them back into this one. Heads screwed on straight. As VP, who embark on a 7-round streak on their CT side, are finally made to look mortal again. One of the brightest minds in Counter-Strike on your screens, James, in-game leader, Orpa. And Time Lord, accountant, he does it all for VP. Oh, what a save. That is something for me.
That is the best Nico round we've had yet.
Yeah, sad to say.
And so let's see if he can build on it.
7-5, Virtus.pro pistol. The pain has just begun.
You don't get to go the places that Nico's been without being able to take a few punches along the way. And so Nico jiggling in at top banana. Him and Hunter here. A proven duo.
Are they going to check?
Hunter will get cleared. Betrayed by the boost up. Nico responds with one and at least keeps this even. You can see him building back into this game. If he can find one more here, return that advantage to G2. They feel like they're on the home stretch in the pistol, but he doesn't want to hang around. Falls back. HooXi here beside him. HooXi's been a non-factor. Everyone is looking to win these duels to kind of bring themselves back into the fold, back into the game.
Back into the site. Both here.
Nico smoked off. Is he going to come through this? Is he going to try and fight with HooXi? As HooXi takes all the attention, Nico won't. That one's given over for free. The sacrificial lamb of HooXi, picked up by Virtus.pro. Backstab on the cards for m0NESY, who has good timing here, closing the gap. He's been spotted. Nexa takes the next fight. Nico chimes in with another in the meantime. Out from CT. They're getting wrapped on by Fame. They don't know about this play. They don't know about this move. They're so tunnel visioned on dealing with Jame. They will run him down. It's all Nico in this pistol. He might have to finish it now as well. m0NESY on the bomb. Nico needs to hit this shot. If Fame gets out, gets around the corner, gets this kill, and VP win the round.
Stuck.
The bomb's stuck, and Nico covers. Nico prevails. 4 kills in the pistol round from Nico.
A smile, finally. Haven't seen that all day from this guy. And what a stick as well. Fame calls the bluff, but that's too much. m0NESY on the full defuse, and that was after the big ticket gets ripped at top B. Hunter with a Julie's turn from the flash, and the timing of that boost up. Thank goodness G2 just send their way back into the site while the bomb's getting planted. They keep the pressure on Virtus.pro, and they close the gap by one more round. A bomb plant and a buy, inevitable. G2 know it's coming.
For the first time in this map, bro, he's getting animated in the player cams. He doesn't look dead inside anymore. What a tale it would be after a very middling performance, and I think I'm being generous in that statement, from the star rifler at G2. If he can prevail now, inspire a bit more faith in the consistent man of m0NESY. Still a world here. Hunter locking it down over in top mid. He'll get out with that kill. There is the route through the apartments open. Jame will elude capture, making it into the site, but Nico stands tall. Cuts down Mir, and now it's just Jame. Nico will silence him. Nico has landed, albeit very late in Copenhagen, but maybe with just enough time left to bail G2 out of this sinking ship that was Inferno.
What a recovery this would be, especially with that streak from Virtus.pro in this game. We are, as always, a long way away. Never a quick day in the office with VP in the server, but there is reason to believe there are stars aligning now for G2. HooXi still 1 kill to his name. It may not matter. They are neck and neck. Eco around. VP always have something to play with, and AK comes through for Flit. And it comes through all right through that smoke. He almost caught Nico. Players avoided, getting back to the site. Nico holding this cross. Flit looking for the entry. As soon as you see that AK, you know what's in store. You know it should be all VP have. But 1 kill, the right place and the right site can win you the round, and Flit knows that.
The only guy who's been a threat here is Nico, dead immediately to the Deagle of Fame. HooXi doesn't know it, but he was getting wrapped on through CT, trying to make a stand, but he can't find a thing. HooXi dead. m0NESY claims one back. But do G2 want to risk going for this round? A man down, money on the line. You almost don't want to give VP the respect here. You know it's just that one gun brought forward.
These post plants are so powerful. No one's at quad, no one's at dark, no one's in a mollyable position. It does get naded actually moving back into the site, but he's still going to survive. And this lineup here, this layer, will get denied by a double peek. Nexa pulls kills out of a hat, and Jame now Glock spamming, does get a kill. m0NESY sticks again in the face of adversity. He finds the defuse, and G2 squeeze around through somehow, some way. Fearless from m0NESY.
3 on 5, pulled back in a retake of that B site. What a time for Nexa to find his voice. flying under the radar, but he comes up big here in this round. And then m0NESY with the balls to stick this,
Unreal.
to out-jiggle Jame on the Gluck.
Look at that.
Let's fucking go!
This is a different G2. This is a different look. And it's the Nico we've been waiting for all tournament. 2 kills as he headed into the last round of that first half. He's shot up the board. m0NESY's winning those clutches now that he wasn't winning earlier. Hunter is feeling the freedom to make plays. This could be the start of something truly fantastic for G2.
It does feel different, doesn't it? Just think about how down and out they were off that huge tech timeout. G2 have found a way back in. Min, a gap, a molly out. He does deny Hunter and opens up options, opportunities through the opponent's spawn. Doesn't have to commit to a B play. That bomb is still stuck out of mid. He's holding for this rotation. m0NESY is running it right now. Steps made. Mia knows. AWP out, scope, and Mia cowers back, avoided completely as m0NESY wraps to the wrong side. That is the bomb drop by Nexa. He's coming alive right now at the right time for G2. Those stars continue to align, and no backstab will save them here. It's just Flit.
Even in how they're able to piece together the end goal of this round, the fact that HooXi's there on the rotate, it finally feels like he's kind of regaining his read of the game again. And he's got these pieces starting to come alive. They're giving him more tools to work with. Flit, goodbye, buddy. Nexa waits in the boiler, and it's another 3K round out of Nexa.
Nice.
We've given Nico his dues, but Nexa is a big part of why these rounds are coming up on the board. This was a guy who was heavily criticized in the move when he came in and replaced JKS. He had to prove that he deserves his spot on this roster because the reasons G2 gave were the intangibles. All you see is the numbers, all you see is the statistics. And Nexa's got them in spades right now.
Impact has certainly been undeniable in this CT side. Almost every player of G2 having their moment, so much so that VP are forced to time out themselves. This is a streak of rounds now amassed by G2, matching that of VP. 7 on the cards. VP are feeling the burn.
There's absolutely no denying that G2 are looking like a different squad and they've got some serious momentum going their way. But closing games versus VP is never easy. G2 have already learned that in this matchup. And so it's really not over till it's over in this one. There is no celebrations to be had till you're comfortably on that third map of Anubis. Jame scoped up down through mid. Flit trying to fight for this banana control. On the back of the pause. Let's see what Jame and co have envisioned.
Hefty investment having Jame on this AWP, and he's holding very passive at the start, allowing Norbert to get control of the apartment. First step of many. Now he'll look for his B pick. It's Nico and HooXi. Side by side inside of the site. Flit moves up as well. VP amassing a horde outside of Banana. HooXi holding smoke, Nico flash. And VP ready to attempt to elicit the first response here. Smoke going over, seeing how G2 fare. No panic. The second one, that's the real thing. They have one flash.
m0NESY's starting to rotate over. Once again, G2 are starting to piece this one together. They can tell it's one of these delayed B plays. A double pump exec out of Virtus.pro. Nico stealth flash out through the coffins, but one man already in the pool. Nico unpunished, tries to support HooXi, tries to support his captain, and that's his downfall. Very little time left as he goes swinging. Hopes he can get that one kill to win the round. But VP do good on their promise at the end of that tack timeout. They bring the heat back into the game. G2 might have known what was coming their way, but they are unable to deal with it.
What a bait. They are coming and they are gunning for these weapons. They know what this AWP means. If it goes down now, nothing in the next for G2. VP surrounding. Running through apartments, they find the AK. Honestly, still unknown about next. It has to force a kill, and these are massive exits with huge implications for G2. It keeps them fighting in that next round, but Virtus.pro break the streak of 6. Nice double pump, and not much to stop it there for G2. Couple of flashes thrown over, and that does not save the day. Norbert still playing a great game right now. Still top of the team, second in the server to Nexa.
This was the first blow dealt to G2 in a little while. We have to see if it knocks them off balance, or if they're able to roll with the punches. Honesty takes that AWP over towards B. Virtus.pro are trying to exploit the weak performance of Hooksy, feeling like this side of the map is their way in. And even though Nico has been that little glimmer of hope over towards the B site, and he's had a bit of a return to form, he's not a one-man army. Honesty, however, might just have to be.
This could be a highlight reel teed up for Monacy. Orb in the right place at the back of the site. Smoke can be used for a Molotov if VP put the pressure on.
If VP do decide to wait, G2 is set up in a way where they're going to look for info in mid as the time runs out.
Yeah, they could have a really fast flank. Even if Monacy dies, getting a kill or two here can make all the difference. That smoke will stop G2 from amassing a quick flank. And now Monacy, the world is calling.
This is it. He has to do what Nico and Hooksy could not. He has to be the one-man army at the back of the B site. With each missed shot, VP closed in. Swinging on out, he's run down.
So brutal, like look at his POV there. He lets 2 players in, he knows it. They missed the molly, but they stall that out until they're ready to 3-2-1 him and swing him together. There is no sanctuary at the back of that site. And there is no stopping for VP. Back-to-back rounds here on this T side. G2 forced to save. They lose their best weapon. Disastrous way to go. Monacy, who has been so reliable in this major for G2. And nothing at the back of B.
Said it earlier on, VP don't just beat teams, they destroy them, and sometimes they'll get you believing only to strip it all away, only to truly crush what little bit of hope remained. Like a deer in headlights for Hooksy, as he is having a very rough game. While everyone else has gone on to redeem themselves somewhat, Hooksy is still very much feeling the burn of Virtus.pro.
Roadkill. Getting trampled, 2-15. Pre-smoke, they know that G2 are coming for something, they're coming for kills. Hooksy sending it down Banana. He's done a lot of damage, and he does finish on his job. A kill and a half, and then Nico helps out. James is gone. Flit, not long for this world. Hooksy sending a message. That's more like it.
And in terms of his impact in the round, right, if you can get one out of Hooksy with the game he's having, you will take that every day of the week. Now him and Nico keep this oppressive stance over on Banana. It's another from Hooksy. And he repels the B offensive. He throws a curveball the way of Virtus.pro.
They're saving already, and it's actually just definitely the right call right now, because also you don't want to give G2 this AWP. They'll know G2 don't have it. For crying out loud, Monacy is full eco here. He is USP armorless in this round. They really want that orb. Playing for later. maybe when G2 realized this, I mean, you can never get super comfortable. I was going to say Monacy. I'd like to see him rotate, go grab a gun, get an upgrade. He can at least risk being traded on a push down banana here. They're going to give it a second. VP could pop in with 15 to go, but as we know, this one's over. So G2, they don't rest for long.
That is a feel-good round for a G2 squad that we're starting to have those doubts creep back in. They call their Hail Mary. They throw that in now. You're going to get, you know, one of those sorts of rounds a game. And so G2 redeem it here to keep the lead, to keep VP on the back foot and to force a save.
It's a really nice way to win a round at this point in the game. You know, when their money had been completely broken, they were desperately gunning for these saves, and what those saves allowed was to buy round, you know, the guns when Monacy and Nexus saved. And even when G2 kept 4 after Monacy died at B, it just allows for future buy rounds that would otherwise be ecos. And now G2 come through with everything they need except the AWP. A round in the lead, but they lost from 11-7. VP, a change of tune and banana. They give it up completely.
They're doing it again. Pooksy.
Mad.
Leading the charge for this banana fight. I mean, you know, this is more typical for G2. They are one of these squads that like to fight for the deep banana control. I think throughout this game, you saw them kind of lose all their identity across this this first half, really. But even on that little streak the VP put together just a couple ago, the fear started to creep back in again, and so they're trying to get rid of that. They're trying to go back to what G2 do best.
VP keeping them honest on overpass, right? Some really nice slow T-side calling, but every now and then G2 would call a rush and it would just go absolutely nowhere. They'd get obliterated. Like you've been saying, VP make you play their game.
I think we're trying to see G2 break away from that idea now. So let's see if they can.
They're making the right rotate. Monacy leaning at least in spawn will be quicker.
Re-aggroing at the top of banana. Hooksy taking a wide swing, and sure, the crazy plays down banana have worked in the past, but that one is so overzealous.
No grenades.
That's a kill given away that feels like it didn't need to. Not in that fashion. And that is a gift to VP. A gift to the enemies of G2.
Here they come.
Back at the site. This is where he's got to have a stand, and it's just the one and done. Mir will get the trade. Mir has opened up this site, opened up the plant, and they even spam out Monacy. Hunter arriving on a backstab. It's good timing at least, but now the surprise factor's gone. They know where he is. They know where he's coming from. Next is moving in to join him. Next has been avoided across these last few rounds, so the great performance he's been given us hasn't come to matter. Do G2 want to risk going for the 2v4? Hunter looks very committed, very keen. Flashed in from spawn, tries to close the net. Low on ammo for Hunter, and Mir will put him in a box to tie this game up. That pressure never goes away when you play VP.
Mir has just played phenomenally well in this series. He had a really slow start in overpass. He brought it back on that 7-11 comeback into overtime, winning crucial rounds for his team, and he goes and does it again. It's not just clutches here on Inferno, it's that double entry, it's that Nico denial. A Nico who has been returning to form. You said he showed up late to Copenhagen. Maybe it's too late. 10-10. The Royal Arena, and there's only room for one. VP sit 3 rounds away from that fact. Back on a stage for the first time in a while.
This is a nice change. Monacy getting to don this AWP, boosted on the half wall. This shot has to connect, but the trade is instantaneous. Flit immediately brings Monacy back down to earth. And so what was kind of meant to be the difference maker here, keeping that all posted, denying the take of banana, it's not come through for G2. Flit now doubles down on this aggression and manages to sneak past through the CT smoke Trying to give chase to Hooksy.
Oh,
Hooksy! Where's that come from? Flit lost to the hands of time in spawn. Did Hunter not get the message? He's cut down in rotation.
They don't know.
Nico back at the site. Nico in with the first, and now Mir. Mir's been the bane of Nico in this matchup. Mir has been cancelling him out in these B-side holds time and time again, and this one's no different. It's a 1v1 to decide the fate of G2.
He knows. He's got a gap. He's got a huge gap. He can run for the hills right now. If he does it, he wins the round from position alone. A miraculous rotation from Mia, and Nexa knows not. Conviction in his decision. He needs to stick that bomb, and it is teed up for Virtus.pro.
And Nexa is now dealt a nearly impossible hand, having to rotate in late to a lost bomb site where Mir has had all the time in the world. The kit was right there, left in the spawn as Hunter was cut down on the rotate, and so Nexa doesn't have one to play with. Time is everything versus the masters of it in VP. And these extra 5 seconds could cost him dearly. Tap on the bomb, no peek from Mir, no commit to a fight from Mir. Looking to take this to the clock. It's a VP special. He would have loved that kit now as Nexa. The strong performance means nothing when he doesn't get the round, and that breaks G2. That breaks everything for G2. Mir delivers in the clutch. First Nico and then Nexa.
It's unbelievable. VP killing G2 at the final hour where they do their best work. And it's the new boy on the block for VP who has stepped up monumentally in this matchup. Mia didn't feel like we would see his return to Tier 1 of CS. Well, he's returning, and quite a statement. Maybe returning to the top 8 of a major. And not just any major. G2, nothing to show for it. They've put all in.
It's just a soul-crushing round to lose, man. It's the one that really has decided the fate of this game. And they've got Mir to thank for it. VP. Bit of util over towards B, but they're actually moving away from this. They're moving towards this quad A hold for G2. All game, all CT side, G2 have been waiting for this A hit. They felt like it's coming. Even in that round where they leave m0NESY to solo B, they're quad stacked over on A. They've been waiting for exactly this round, but do they have the answers? m0NESY set up there, playing anti over at long. First kill secured. In the meantime, Flip making more noise, keeping options open for Virtus.pro.
It's not going to pull a rotate though. Nico's moving around, and it's all a fast right now for VP. It's all just a mind game. It's worked to perfection. They're so scared. This B side has been the bane of G2, and so VP sneak into the gap. Steps heard, rotates back. 20 seconds, only 2 here to stop the inevitable.
Nexa has been avoided throughout most of this CT side. His numbers have been spectacular. He's always keen to deliver, but they've often dodged him. Not in this round. Nexa from the apartments has given G2 a second shot, a second chance. It's just Flit in on the backstab, and he's smoked off. Can't win this round. G2 with a bunch of SMGs, a couple of pistols. They keep the dream alive. And in the same way that VP were counting their blessings, they're thanking Mir for winning what they thought was the game-defining round. G2 have Nexa to thank on the other side.
Who knew Nexa would be the hero of this team in the darkest of hours? When they need him the most, he has absolutely come through for them on this second map. Another multi-kill. They give him a chance. He does not waste it. Nico and m0NESY avoided on overpass. Instead, pressured more on Inferno than anyone else. G2, with almost nothing to play with, make this an even game yet again, pulling at our heartstrings.
They're trying to make a read. I think the VP are going to go back towards their usual antics over here at B. And they might be right in that assumption. Flit is working Banana. James in with him.
No bombs.
So much room for paranoia. There's so much room for indecision.
Good smoke. G2 are holding their util well here. Got two mollies and a smoke left on the A site, and G2 are getting aggressive on B. That should free up a rotation. You'd like to think someone's going to reinforce, and so they shall, leaving just Nico here. Looking for more util, he can't find it. There's nothing left. VP, now they're the ones going into the stack. Can Flit's fake do anything? Can it keep m0NESY questioning?
Is it a fake? I think they're coming back to
Oh
B.
my.
VP are ending B in this.
Yeah. They've got to lurk up long. It's all Nico yet again.
All this pressure being applied to the A side. G2 have been paranoid about it all game. m0NESY will deliver the kill to Norbert, but now Nico, this has to be his moment. This has to be his moment. And with no kills found, bomb site given over to Virtus.pro. G2 scramble bodies over. Everything is on the line for G2 here.
Ooh.
Both teams, their money at the end of the tether, at the end of the rope. The winner of this is teed up to win the map.
Jay? Has he crashed? He's crashed. Oh no, in a pivotal round. He's at the back of the site in the open. That was the opener post-spawn. That's a dream scenario. G2 have been given road to run. Can they close the gap? Mir hits his. It's 1-for-1. It's only Flit, and G2 miraculously saving themselves yet again.
Nice.
Divine intervention.
Oh dear.
Plays in to keep G2 on this road to the comeback.
If only he could hide. He was at quad. He was safe. Strafed into the open. And Tech decides. Disastrous way for VP to lose that round. Undeserving. But G2 take it nonetheless. Nothing VP can do.
The man they say looks like Jesus sits in the ranks of VP, but God is a G2 fan apparently. That is going to hurt for Virtus.pro. They had G2 right there. And if you're G2, it's not the way you want to be winning the round. It's not the way you want this redemption arc to come through. But at this point, you've just got to take it. You've got to take what you can get. Everything was riding on that round. What a horrific time for this to come through.
And a question we never ask, but how is James mental now? How do VP fare in this position? It's usually never a factor. They live and die by their own decisions, but that one's not theirs. The call made for them. This is not your round. And now Virtus.pro put to the test to once again drag G2 into overtime. Their money a factor, their orb unincluded. And their chances dwindling now on Virtus.pro's home run. 2 guns, 3 pistols, G2 poised for a third map.
For any other team, that definitively would take you out of the game. That would be it, right? This map would be over. But it's VP, man. These guys have got mental resilience in spades. Their whole brand of Counter-Strike relies on that fact.
Oh dear.
And so this is the ultimate test of VP's mental.
That's greedy.
And a rough move from Mir to open. m0NESY posted down through Banana, licking his lips to get involved with the AWP. Just the tag down range. Virtus.pro have been tested in many ways, but never like this. Nico had a $1 million miss with the Deagle. VP might have just had it with a crash.
What a crisis.
This is it for Virtus.pro. This is everything. And Nico is collecting the info that Banana is clear. In this moment, G2 know exactly where this round is ending, what the goal is for Virtus.pro. And Nico might be here to take it all away. Clawing his way up through middle. m0NESY lightning fast on the AWP. And with divine intervention comes the redemption of G2. They long this out. Anubis awaits the final map. G2 will not have a hand of God moment again. They need the individuals now, and VP have got to come back from a soul-crushing situation.
Unbelievable way for that to close, but G2 absolutely hold their